Hi, everyone. This is Denise,
Greg.
and this is my husband, Greg. And he's a little bit iffy about doing Zoom with me, but he's agreed to just sit his tushy in the chair and try it today. And in the meantime, he's giving me pointers on
why we look pink in the video.
Why we look pink in the video and why he looks like bright red.
And the background's overexposed.
Yeah, so if we can just get over that a little bit. But one of the things that I thought that I would add to our WTF community is the male perspective a little bit here, and just to share the joys and the things that we've messed up on as a couple as well.
How joyful.
How joyful. And one of the things that I asked Greg to talk about is if he'd be willing to talk about money vows, because everyone who's in this community pretty much knows our story because I've only said it a million times. But part of it is that we didn't have money vows. We have marriage vows, but we didn't really consciously create any money vows. We just did life, and it was a bit messed up around money, but we do have money vows now.
Are there white spots coming down here? Am I hallucinating?
Yeah, I think it's I don't know what that is, but
we had mushrooms for lunch.
Yeah, psychedelic mushrooms. There we go. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So do you feel like you would just like to share maybe a little bit about our money vows and our agreements that we have with one another in order to?
Yeah, I guess money vows, I never thought of them that way.
Oh, how do you think of them?
Well, the agreements that we made.
Okay, agreements.
That's what
okay.
You want to talk about that. Yeah. Okay. So, the agreements are, we don't use credit cards for credit. If we use credit cards for travel or something, we pay it off the next month or when we get home, whatever. We don't overspend. We, stay within our limits. We generally spend less than we make, so that some is put away. I have to talk about money every once in a while with her. But the agreement is that she can't ambush me. So it has to be, it can't be 9 o'clock at night or when we're in bed trying to fall asleep. It's like, so she usually says, can I talk about money? And I get to say yes or no. Or if I say no, I usually try to say, well, in half an hour or maybe this afternoon or something like that. So, is that what you're thinking of?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And, I think one of the things that's helped is that we've agreed on these certain things, and they're kind of like guiding principles for our life. And even though we disagree on other things, kind of like not incurring debt. And you're really good at researching things too. Like that's one of our other money agreements is before we buy anything, you research it to the nth degree, just to make sure that, we're getting the value for the thing.
Yeah, I think what came out of one of the things that came out of it for me was, we each bring different, strengths to the game. So while we look like we were opposites at the beginning, and I was a spender and she was a saver, and we kind of clashed a bit. Now, that spending for me has turned into like research. So like especially for big ticket items, it takes me a long time to decide on cars and appliances and stuff like that. And I like doing that. That for me, I always figure that if I can find the best deal for a car that leaves more money for fun stuff or nights out, than just spending money willy-nilly and not paying attention to that. So that's usually how I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a strength of yours.
Yeah. And on the other hand, I'm not, you've acknowledged too, you don't do that. You don't like to do that. You just, when you make up your mind finally or have reached enough discomfort, you would just pull the trigger. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you are superior at that. Would you like me to say that again?
I'd like to have a T-shirt that says that.
You're superior at that.
Find a T-shirt.
um, and what am I superior at?
You are very good at the day-to-day bookkeeping stuff, the stuff that I hate. So like when we were early on, this predates probably most of you all, we actually wrote down the day's spending. And in order for me to comply with it, I had to come up with my own process. And I just had like a condensed form of the spreadsheet with the major categories. And I cut them into tiny pieces and had them kind of in my shirt pocket. I was a workaday guy back then. And capturing all that and then putting that all together in the 1st and the 15th, I hated all that. I mean, I hated all that. So this is one of the agreements that we've just evolved to, is that I don't do that anymore. But on the other hand, I don't really spend like I did before either. I don't buy hardly anything, without talking about it. And there'll be times when she looks at the bigger picture of the money and says, we've only got X number of dollars in the checking account. That's code. That's our internal code for stop spending money now. And so we've come to understand that too, that that's just the way it works. And to me, the motivation is if I can go without having to write everything down every day, I'll fall in line. I'll comply with that. So it's not like it's a big sacrifice, but it's like, it's one of the agreements that we can come to.
Yeah, it's an agreement, and we're trying this out. I'm keeping it short because Greg likes short and sweet.
Yeah.
He's not one for talking on the phone too much, or having like little social videos.
I love texting.
He likes texting, and this is like a stretch for him.
We actually text from the TV room back to our office here quite regularly.
There we go. And I appreciate you being here and sharing your viewpoint. And I hope you can do more of these where you do that, because I think it's helpful for people that are partnered to know that, we're different. We're not all alike, and we have to find ways to compromise and come to agreements.
Yeah.
I guess. Thank you.
Hi. Bye, guys.
Bye.